Good evening and welcome to OU Nightly. I'm Madeline Peak.
And I'm Theo Coleman. We're bringing you news from around campus and from around Norman, live from Gaylord Hall.
Austin has South by Southwest, Tulsa has Mayfest, and every year OU students trek north or south to hear their favorite bands at music festivals like these.
Now, students won't have to go very far at all. It's all around Norman. The first ever Norman Music Festival is this weekend. OU Nightly's Jennifer Smith has a sneak peek about this weekend's music extravaganza.
This is a normal day on Main Street. Business people scurry in and out of their offices, people stop at their favorite cafes, and commuters provide a constant flow of traffic. But tomorrow, this portion of Main Street will be closed off and will act as the stage for local and national music acts performing in the first ever Norman Music Festival.
And so there's a main stage down by the train tracks, which should be fun when a train comes through, which will happen for sure. And then down by Porter is the second stage. It's a little bit smaller. And inside the Sooner Theater, we'll be having bands as well.
The headliners for this year's event are the Polyphonic Spree. They'll be sharing the main stage with Chainsaw Kittens, British Sea Power, and the Octopus Project. Several local bands are also scheduled to play various venues along Main Street.
Well, our hope is that this will become an annual event, an annual destination festival for Norman.
Organizers say the festival is expected to draw as many as 20,000 people during the day-long event.
Yeah, actually, I've got a friend who's coming up from Texas who's going to stay with me, and we're going to go to the festival together, so it should be a great time.
Good news for all the college students, Norman Music Festival is free to attend. Jennifer Smith, OU Nightly.
For more information on the Norman Music Festival, you can go to their MySpace page. The address is there on your screen at myspace.com/Norman Music Festival. That's myspace.com/Norman Musical Festival. Madeline, for that music festival tomorrow, if today's weather is any indication, then they should have a good time out there tomorrow.
Yes, it's been pretty good weather. I felt a few raindrops this morning. Nick Nosler's here with a quick look at what's going on right now.
Yes, it was a beautiful weather day. It started out a little cool in the morning, but with the clouds, they moved out kind of later into the day, and it warmed up very nicely, almost into the 70s across most of Oklahoma. 70 right now in Norman. We have 60s in the Kansas and also northern Oklahoma area, and we had some 40s and 50s further north where that cold front has pushed its way mostly through. And then down in Texas, where the cold front is not going to reach, it's up in the 80s. Very nice weather for this time of year. And we'll go outside to Jen Myers right now. And Jen, it's a little bit windy, or was earlier today. Is it still windy right now?
Nick, those winds have died down just a little bit, but they're still out of the north at 23 miles per hour, gusting to 30. Like you said, just a beautiful day. The clouds have cleared out that were there this morning and given us just a really pleasant day to get out and enjoy ourselves. The temperatures are a little bit colder than yesterday. In fact, we're about 16 degrees colder than we were for our high. But for now, let's go ahead and head back inside to Nick Nosler. Live outside Gaylord Hall, I'm Jennifer Myers for OU Nightly. Nick?
Thanks, Jen. Yes, that wind was kicking up pretty good, but that's with the front moving through, and the winds should start to die down in the overnight hours and tomorrow as they switch to more of a southeasterly flow. But for right now, we'll take a look at satellite, and the clouds, like I said, moved on out. You can start to see some storms firing up down here along the cold front. Some of those could be severe, so if you're in far eastern or extreme southeastern Oklahoma, watch out for some severe weather today and into the overnight hours. But for most of Oklahoma, it's going to be very nice for the rest of the night, and we're going to have some severe weather chances tomorrow, but we'll have more on that in Maine weather. Madeline.
Thanks, Nick, as always. Two OU business teams took first place in their divisions Thursday night at the Oklahoma Reynolds Governor's Cup. The graduate team won in their division for developing an intelligent insulin that minimizes diabetes complications. The undergraduate winners created a nanotechnology-based fabric that enhances the treatment for cotton, making it waterproof. Both teams won $20,000 for their achievements.
Madeline, if you're like me, tomorrow is a big holiday for NFL fans.
Yes, it's the NFL Draft. Tom, you have more details.
That's right. Sooner fans, come out of hibernation, take a breath. That's right, football's in the air. It's the NFL Draft weekend. Understanding some of you may have been sleeping since spring practice ended, the NFL Draft is tomorrow and Sunday. 9 former Sooners are eligible for this year's draft, with the top 3 being the 3 who didn't have to be eligible. As I'm sure we all remember, linebacker Curtis Lofton, wide receiver Malcolm Kelly, and defensive back Reggie Smith chose to skip their senior seasons at OU to pursue pro careers. As far as the overall draft goes, the number 1 pick is already locked up. The Miami Dolphins signed offensive lineman Jake Long out of Michigan to a 5-year contract earlier this week, and he will be tomorrow's number 1 pick.
Madeline and Theo, later on in sports, will have a package from Royce Young about underclassmen going pro.
All right, we'll look forward to that.
Right.
See you later.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tom. With the rising cost of food at grocery stores, Oklahoma representatives are doing their part to help lower those prices. The Oklahoma House voted Thursday to eliminate the state sales tax on groceries. The bill will now head to a joint House-Senate conference where it's unsure if it will survive. Lawmakers already have $114 million less to spend than last year, and this measure would reduce state revenue by $133 million. In just a few hours, Republican presidential hopeful John McCain will be in Oklahoma City for a fundraising dinner. The $23,000 a plate reception is at the Skirvin Hotel. Those attending will also get the chance to have their picture taken with the Arizona senator. During McCain's event, Oklahoma Democrats are having a hot dogs, beans, and beverages dinner. The event costs just over $2, and anyone who attends can have their picture taken with a cutout of Democratic presidential candidates Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton.
Today in Norman, it was a good day for an unusual combination: politics and dogs. It was all smiles and tail wagging at this morning at today's Walk and Wag event with Mayor Cindy Rosenthal. Norman residents and their dogs gathered at Sutton Wilderness for a walk and talk with the mayor about health issues. The walk is part of the Heart and Soul campaign that encourages healthy lifestyles while learning about a variety of Norman areas. The mayor says that through sharing common interests like dog walking, communities can be brought together in a healthy way.
Dogs are just absolutely wonderful. We've got 2 of them at our house, and so they're an opportunity for people to come together and meet new people and also get some exercise.
The mayor's next weekly walk will be at the Moore Norman Technology Center walking path at 8:30 a.m. next Friday. It's not the happy ending movie star Wesley Snipes was hoping for.
A Florida judge has sentenced Snipes to go to prison for tax evasion. Coming up, we'll tell you how much time Snipes will have to spend behind bars and which celebrity wrote a letter to the judge vying for Snipes' character.
You're watching OU Nightly, named the #1 college newscast in Oklahoma by the Oklahoma Broadcast Education Association.
For the latest news going on outside of Norman, we go now to our world news correspondent, Shannon Miller.
Shannon is live in the Gaylord Hall Convergence Lab. Shannon, good evening.
Good evening to you, Madeline and Theo. A new threat for Americans in Iraq. This morning, Shiite leader Muttaka al-Sadr threatened an open war against American forces in his country. The threat, which was read during Friday prayers, is considered to be a final warning for American troops. And bad news, actor Wesley Snipes, who has been sentenced to 3 years in prison for tax evasion. Snipes received the maximum punishment despite the help from fellow actor Denzel Washington, who wrote a letter to the judge trying to vie for Snipes' good character. And Grammy Award-winning singer Amy Winehouse was arrested today after she allegedly assaulted 2 men in a London bar. The 24-year-old soul diva has been in the news a lot lately after she recently entered rehab. That's all for today's news wrap. Theo and Madeline, back to you two in the studio.
Thanks, Shannon. The skies are clear, at least for right now, so don't finalize your outdoor weekend plans just yet.
Nick Nosler is here with the full weather forecast next when OU Nightly continues. Welcome back. Madeline, with some severe weather threats earlier this week, Norman dodged a bullet for the most part.
They definitely did. It's been nice weather here in Norman. I want to know if it's going to last through the weekend. Nick, what can you tell us?
Well, it's going to be nice weather at least for the next 24 hours, but then that's when it could take a turn for the worse tomorrow night. But for right now, it's looking very nice. We'll take a look at what's going on outside. And you can see 71 degrees, humidity not too bad at all, 50%. And we have winds about 23 miles per hour out of the north. So a little windy, but not too bad. Barometer's holding steady about 29, almost 30 inches. So very nice outside today. Start off a little cloudy, a little cool, and it's warmed up quite nicely. We'll take a look at the almanac, and we'll see that it was 65 today in Oklahoma City. 58 was the low, so not much. They were in cloud cover a little bit more than we were. But from then on out, it's a little bit below normal and a little bit above normal, so that cloud cover is definitely playing a role in the highs and lows temperatures for right now, and not close to either of the records. Should be very nice, about spring-like temperatures, at least for the next 4 to 5 days. No rain, but that could change tomorrow as that severe weather chance definitely rolls into our area. And we'll take a look at that forecast map right now. And we'll have this system that's going to start out in the panhandle of Texas and far western Oklahoma, and it's going to move on into Oklahoma, and we could dodge another bullet like Theo said, but for the most part, I think we're going to play it safe and say we're going to get something tomorrow. It could just be flooding or just regular rain, or it could be severe weather, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that going through the afternoon and into the overnight hours tomorrow. So we have that. We'll take a look at our day planner, and we'll see a mild start tomorrow, mostly clear, 55 degrees to start out, light northwest winds, and then those winds will start to move around to the east and finally to the southeast, all light winds tomorrow, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Pretty nice, warming up pretty gradually throughout the day, 65 and finally in the mid-70s tomorrow, and that's when we'll start to see these storms moving into our area. Like I said, possibly severe hail, maybe tornadoes, and high winds are definitely going to be the main threats. We'll take a look at our poolside forecast, and we'll see that it's going to be tomorrow. The afternoon's going to be very nice, but when it starts getting those evening hours, you might want to head inside. And it's going to UV index is not going to be bad, so it's going to be a nice day outside. Definitely still put in some sunscreen and whatnot, but it's going to be pretty nice. Now Sunday, UV is going to be a little bit higher, but it's going to be a little bit cooler outside, so maybe not the best day to be out by the pool. But golf forecast for the weekend, it looks very nice. And we can see tomorrow, like I said, early on in the day, get a tee time. It's going to be very nice out. Sunday, going to be very cool, perfect for golfing, mid-60s throughout the day. Winds a little bit rough out of the north, 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then Monday, I know at OU it's dead week, so maybe take some time out of studying, maybe some time off of work and get a tee time. It's going to be picture perfect. And we'll move on into the 5-day forecast, and we'll see, like I said, the weekend. The main thing is severe weather tomorrow night and Sunday and on into the rest. It's going to be very nice, very spring-like temperatures through the next few days, 4 to 5 days. And it's going to be, all in all, it's going to be a great week. And so, get outside and enjoy that, before the summer comes and whatnot.
So basically go out to that music festival tomorrow morning then before all the bad weather comes in?
Definitely, yeah. We're going to be very careful for the weather, music festival tomorrow, but early on it's going to be very nice for you.
Okay.
Great. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. This weekend could bring a big payday for a few former Sooners in the NFL draft.
We'll have more on that big draft coming up. Sports is next.
Bob Stoops became the head coach of OU 10 years ago.
Madeline, I know we've been talking about the NFL draft all day today, but surprise, surprise, there are other sports going on at OU, I understand.
Yes, some Sooner sports. It's the women's softball's last game this weekend and a baseball game down in Lubbock. Right, Tom?
It is very surprising that there's a lot of other sports going on. But actually, OU softball season is quickly coming to its end. The Lady Sooners actually host their final home series this weekend against arch rival Texas. After a 2-game sweep of Oklahoma State, the number 8 Sooners are 12-2 in Big 12 play and currently in second place in the conference. But they are still in the hunt for the Big 12 regular season title, sitting just a couple games behind the Aggies of Texas A&M, who are currently 14-1. The first game is set for tomorrow at 2 p.m. And tomorrow's softball game also marks Breast Cancer Awareness Day, and the first 1,000 fans will receive a pink OU softball T-shirt. For Sunday's noon game, the first 250 fans will receive a pair of OU Crocs. The OU baseball team heads to Lubbock this weekend for a 3-game series against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. The Sooners have not fared well in conference play so far this season. They are just 4-10-1 in the conference and currently in second to last place in the Big 12. Fortunately for the Sooners this weekend, they play the one team that is below them in the conference. The Red Raiders are 5-13 in Big 12 play. The NFL is a dream for most every young football player out there, a dream that is expected, as we told you earlier, to come true tomorrow for 3 OU underclassmen. That's the most ever in 1 year under Bob Stoops. As we promised you earlier, OU Nightly's Royce Young tells us about the experience of going pro.
Since Bob Stoops became the head coach at OU 10 years ago, only 5 underclassmen have gone to the NFL early. This year, 3 will venture early into the draft: cornerback Reggie Smith, linebacker Curtis Lofton, and flanker Malcolm Kelly.
I kind of knew, towards the end of the season, what I was going to do, but I just kept it quiet, kept it just between me and my family, and just want to make the decision after the season.
Before the draft, players are evaluated in almost every way imaginable. From taking written tests to doing strange on-field drills, NFL scouts and general managers attempt to make sure they know the potential prospect in every way possible.
Another test, man, I was asking, do you like your parents, and do you all kind of stupid stuff like that. I'm finna get over here. These people starting to look at me like I'm crazy. They ask you dumb questions like that, though. Do you yell at your girlfriend? All kind of pointless stuff like that.
Lofton says the evaluation process can be a little frustrating at times because the scouts don't always look at what a player has accomplished on the field. Instead, looking at some numbers from a series of drills.
And I'm not a track guy. I don't come in blazing. But when I get on the field, I don't think you'll find anybody moves the way I do or as fast as I am out there on the field.
For this crop of Sooners that have dollar signs in their eyes and football still in their hearts, the NFL is just a breath away. But in order to get there, they'll have to pass the test. All of them. Royce Young, OU Nightly.
First 2 rounds of the NFL draft are tomorrow. Rounds 3 through 7 are Sunday. The draft starts tomorrow at 2 on ESPN and 9 in the morning on Sunday. Make sure and tune in Monday to OU Nightly to find out where the former Sooners ended up. Madeline and Theo, if anybody wants to get some more in-depth information on Sooner sports and the draft, they can tune into our sports pad right after the newscast at 5 o'clock and then 10 o'clock tonight.
Will do. I was just going to tell you guys I'm having a big draft party at my house tomorrow, and you guys are both welcome to come if you'd like.
What about the rest of our viewers?
We'll see, yeah.
Yeah? I know one thing. If anybody forgets the time of the draft, they definitely didn't pay attention today because we told them about
4 times. But BYO will be at my house if you guys are going to come.
All right, let's do it.
I'll bring the chips and queso.
Thanks.
If you want to get more Stomp in your life, you'll have your chance this weekend.
Emily Blanding has all the details, plus more weekend fun. Sooner Scene is next after the break.
Welcome back. Now for all things entertainment for the weekend, we go to OU Nightly's Emily Blanding.
Emily, the Sooner Scene is well packed this weekend.
If you're looking for some free food and live music tonight, you won't have to go very far. The OU Brothers Under Christ Fraternity is kicking off their annual Island Party right now. The group has been setting up for the party since last night in Walker Adams Mall on campus. Members hold fundraising events and ask for donations all year so that they can host this free event.
We do it every year in the spring, and we do it just as a way that we can provide the campus with a fun day filled with music from popular bands and volleyball tournament and some games and free food, and also just kind of share the love of Christ with the campus.
The band Skillet is headlining the concert. Other bands playing are Decipher Down, Mike's Chair, and The Neighborhood. The event lasts until 10 p.m. And if you're running out of gas on the usual weekend plans, we found the place where you can fill up. Thunder Valley Raceway Park is a drag strip just a few miles south of Norman and Noble. The track lets you get out of the stands and onto the cement to face off with friends or challenge the clock. With no speed limit and burnouts encouraged, the track turns any average Joe in a Jeep into Jeff Gordon.
You know how sometimes you're sitting at the stoplight and you got your 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas, and you're waiting for that tree to go from red to green, you know, for the stoplight to get. That's what it's like.
It's that feeling that draws a crowd every Friday night. Motorcycles, trucks, even funny cars come out to burn some rubber without the worry of police on their tail. Make sure to call ahead to make sure you're not left at the starting line. The number is 872-3429. Again, that's 872-3429. Tomorrow, OU will celebrate a part of Greek culture. The Lloyd Noble Center will host the 26th annual Stomp Down with OU's Black Student Association and National Panhellenic Council. 8 Black Greek organizations from Oklahoma and Texas will compete for thousands of dollars. Step shows consist of rhythmic stomping, clapping, and dancing. And the Stomp Down committee says the groups have been practicing for months.
I don't know about many step shows in Oklahoma, but this one is the biggest because there are different acts from different places. Like we try and get acts from Kansas and Texas and Louisiana.
Doors open at 4:30 p.m. and the show starts at 6. Tickets are $18. Madeline and Theo, that's it for this week's Sooner Scene Report. Plenty for you and everyone else to do this weekend.
All right, Emily, thanks as always.
Thanks. And Nick, if just in case our viewers missed it, can we get one more look at that 5-day weather forecast?
Yeah, definitely. Tomorrow, the big area concern is the severe weather chance tomorrow night. And then after that, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful spring week coming up for the next 3 to 4 days. And after that, so very nice weekend other than the severe weather tomorrow night.
So weekend plans go out tomorrow morning before the weather hits.
Exactly.
All right, we'll do.
Thanks, Nick.
Got some big plans tomorrow.
Get back home for the draft.
Exactly.
It should be fun. All right, that's our broadcast for this Friday night, and for some of us here, for the last time on OU Nightly. This is Nick and I's last broadcast, and the semester's last Friday broadcast.
OU Nightly will be back Monday live at 4:30. Thank you so much for being with us this year, and we hope to see you all along the way.
Have a great evening.
And a great weekend. Good night.